comeback story. Ethan Carson was the NBA's rising star. At just 25, he was one of the most exciting players out there. Fast, sharp, and tough as hell. Everyone thought he had a legendary career ahead of him. But then, in a crucial game, he went for a quick move to the basket and landed wrong on his right leg. The second he hit the floor, a scream tore through the arena. Ethan clutched his knee, twisting in pain. The crowd went dead silent. His teammates stood frozen. The medical staff rushed onto the court. They carried him off on a stretcher, his eyes full of tears. Not just from the pain, but from the fear of what this could mean for his future. Hours later, he was in the hospital, sitting across from his doctor, Mark Robertson. The look on Mark's face said it all before he even spoke. "Ethan, you've completely torn your ACL and damaged your meniscus. You're going to need surgery and a long rehab process." The words hit like a punch to the gut. Ethan tried to keep it together, but the thought of being out for a year, that was brutal. "Will I ever be the same?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Can I still play like I used to?" Mark sighed. "That depends on you. Rehab's going to be tough. But if you push yourself, you have a shot at coming back." The first few weeks after surgery were hell. The pain was constant, but what really messed with him was watching his teammates play while he sat on the sidelines. Useless. He felt like he was fading away. One night, sitting alone in his dark room, the thought hit him hard. Is this it? Am I done? But deep down, he knew he wasn't the type to quit. He'd been a fighter since day one. 3 months in, he finally started rehab. And man, it was rough. Every exercise felt like torture. Some days, he just wanted to give up, but his physical therapist, Ray Stevens, wasn't about to let that happen. "Champions aren't made in the spotlight," Ray told him one day. "They're made right here, in the grind. How you fight now, that's what's going to decide your future." Ethan took those words to heart. He trained harder, fought through the pain, pushed himself past exhaustion, all so he could get back on that court. 9 months later, it was go time. His first few steps back on the court were shaky, but as the days passed, he started to feel like himself again. His speed, his precision, it was all coming back. The day his return was announced, the arena was packed. Fans chanted his name. As he stepped onto the court, chills ran down his spine. This was it. He was back. The game was a battle. The opposing team wasn't giving an inch. The score was tight, and with just seconds left, the ball landed in Ethan's hands. A defender blocked his path. Everything he'd been through flashed through his mind. The pain, the struggle, the countless hours of rehab. This was his moment. He made his move, dodged the defender, and jumped. The ball left his fingertips just as the buzzer sounded. Swish. Game over. Victory. The crowd went wild. His teammates rushed him, hugging him, cheering. Tears filled his eyes. He did it. From that day on, Ethan wasn't just a player. He was a symbol of determination, of resilience. He went on to win championships. But his biggest victory? Proving to himself that he could rise again. Years later, in an interview, someone asked him what the hardest part of his journey was. He didn't even hesitate. It wasn't the injury. It was the choice between giving up and fighting. And I chose to fight.